This is New York in the 41st millennium. Rundown buildings with a park in the middle. We're getting ready to play my 1500 of Empress Canaries and 1500 of my Imperial Guard versus Will's 1500 Eldar and Steve's 1500, I don't know, Tyranids or Witch Hunters. One of the two, we'll find out. Rolling for mission. Two. Capture and control, so one objective in each deployment. And deployment. Dawn of War.
Ha ha ha.
Roll for initiative.
What?
I rolled a 2 and I won, and I will decide shortly. Here is deployment. He just redeployed some things with Eldrad. He's got a Wave Serpent over there with Dire Avengers, right? Yeah. 2 Rhinos, Exorcist in the back, Exorcist over here. Some Retributors, Seraphim with Celestine, Wraithguard with Eldrad, Fire Prism, and a Wave Serpent with Fire Dragons. And I've decided only to deploy my 2 Rhinos with my Tactical Marines in them. And going to turn 1. Okay, turn 1. Some things over here moved forward. Retributors shot at my Rhino, but I did make my 1 cover save that I needed. Most things, fortunately for me, were out of night fighting, so they didn't have range to me. But over here, the Bright Lances did immobilize this Rhino, and Wraithguard moved forward quite a bit, so going on to my turn 1. Okay, my first turn, I brought on my 2 Chimeras here. I moved the Rhino forward, and I popped smoke with all of them. And I brought on my bike squad, and I charged. I didn't shoot, I just charged into the Wraithguard. I killed 4 of them, and I unfortunately also lost 4 bikes. I biffed a lot of saves, so we tied going into turn 2. Okay, top of turn 2, he moved over some of these Rhinos, popped smoke with these 2. Moved some Exorcists and shifting of vehicles around, and lots of hits on my vehicles from the Exorcists and from these 2 tanks here, and that Fire Prism. I fortunately was ridiculous and made every single one of my cover saves. In combat, I killed 2 and he killed 2, so we're still tied up here. I'm getting thinned out pretty quick though, so I'm going on to my turn 2. These Seraphim moved and ran over here as well. Okay, my turn 2. These bikes came in and boosted forward. Sentinels came on, shot this, immobilized it, and took a weapon off. These Landspeeders shot, did I think 3 glances and a pen onto this, but he saved them all. Over here, in combat, I disembarked my Space Marines from this Rhino and charged in with the Power Fist there too. This is the most disappointing combat I've done in a long time. My bikes took 4 wounds. I failed every single one of them, so I lost all my bike squad, and my captain took a wound. In combat, my captain only killed 1 Wraithguard, and the squad that charged in, including the Power Fist, did absolutely nothing, so he failed and ran back. And over here, they're by the way about to get countercharged by Celestine and some Seraphim, so it's not looking good. Over here, my Vanquisher came in and made it so this vehicle can't shoot next turn. And my Scout Sentinels outflanked, shot, did nothing, charged, and made it so it can't shoot or move next turn. So that's it for turn 2, going on to 3. Okay, this turn, Dire Avengers here disembarked, moved forward, unloaded into my bike squad. So did these bolters here. I'm down to 3 of them. They passed their leadership. Over here, 2 Meltas shot into my Chimera and immobilized it. Exorcist from the back wrecked 2 of my land speeders, so that's rough. One of these lost their Hunter-Killer missile from the other Exorcist. Over here, Retributors just completely obliterated my HQ. He wasn't even a challenge with his horrible saves that he does.
7 wounds.
Yeah, he failed the first 2 he rolled, and failed another one of the other ones. Seraphim countercharged into here. I had lost 4 from the Seraphim squad, and I failed my leadership and my initiative roll, and lost another 2 from my no retreat. Killed nothing in return, missed with all my Power Fists. And over here, Fire Dragons disembarked, shot at me. Both of them can't move. No, both of them can't shoot. 1 lost a weapon, 1's immobilized. Fire Dragons assaulted them and actually got beat and ran away, and they can still regroup. That's pretty much all that happened this turn, so going on to my 3. Okay, this round, move these guys forward, left the land speeder still, I brought in my 2 Layman Russes. Up here, bike shot, killed 1 guy, charged and killed 1 guy. Demolisher exploded this here Rhino. Autocannons took out a few more, bringing them down to 5 guys. Over here, these guys disembarked, getting ready to re-embark in the working Rhino. I forgot to roll for that. This vehicle here actually wrecked the Wave Serpent. This disembarked all of its guys, including a Minister and Priest, Lord Commissar, and the Veteran Squad, with a total of 3 guys with Power Fist in there. In the combat, finished off the Wraith Guard, got brought down, lost 3 Marines, so we got 1 Marine left. So they finished off the Wraith Guard, killed 2 Seraphim. Eldred and the Warlock fell back, and they can't regroup unless I'm dumb enough to kill the Warlock. This moved up here past this dangerous terrain, and that's pretty much what happened. Didn't really shoot at anything in the back. Okay, so on the top of 4, over here in combat, I killed 1. I took no damage in return. Wave Serpent moved over, shot, but failed to hit the Sentinels. These guys moved and ran towards this objective here. These guys melted this. Has no weapons left, and it's immobilized.
Retributors.
Retributors pummeled some shots into Landspeeder and immobilized that. Layman Russ took shots from Exorcist, but didn't manage to get it. Needs a 6. So, in combat here was the big thing. I killed no Seraphim, but I did instant death with my Lord Commissar Celestine, and she failed her leadership test, so she's not coming back. So I passed all my leadership to tie up there. And over here, the Fire Dragons didn't manage the assault range through difficult terrain to the Sentinels. So Fire Prism from down the way, penetrating hit, explodes my 250-point Layman Russ Vanquisher. So that sucked. I think that's all that happens. So going on my turn 4. Okay, my turn 4. Sentinels moved forward, killed 1 of them, and assaulted did nothing into these guys here, so they're kind of tied up. Over here in the combat, nothing happened. These guys jumped out, flamed them, and assaulted them, wiped the squad in sweeping advance, and now they're kind of out in the open. Landspeeder did nothing, shooting at Exorcist. Layman Russ here, Demolisher, wrecked this vehicle. Other Layman Russ killed 1 of the guys there. Space Marines embarked and moved forward in this Rhino. This combat finally wiped out the squads, and now they both are still consolidated into the open. And over here, in combat I charged him. He exploded 1 of my Sentinels, which killed 1 of his guys in the explosion. My other Sentinel killed 1 of them, but they held. So we are going into turn 5. Okay, top of turn 5, this is the last turn, we're running low on time. Sentinel combat here did nothing again. This combat did nothing again. These guys were blasted from, like, Exorcist getting 6 shots in the Retributors. They went to ground. They're down to 3 guys. Over here, Rhino was exploded by a Fire Prism.
No, Exorcist.
Exorcist exploded the Rhino here. Lost 1 guy. This guy was almost killed in the explosion, but he survived. This from a Fire Prism, can't move or shoot next turn. It's immobilized anyway. Killed 1 Fire Dragon in that combat. These guys moved over here, and the big thing that really screws me is Eldred, while falling back, was in range with Eldritch Storm, spun this around, and wrecked it. So I can't contest with it over there. But we'll see how that goes. We're going on to bottom of 5 last turn. Okay, the last turn of the game. We didn't bother with the assaults. Couldn't make a difference to anything. Dreadnought came in last turn. Got a las cannon, shot penetrating hit on this Wave Serpent, and rolled a 1. So, whoop-de-doo. It did a lot this game. These guys, still going to ground, but they've got that objective. Layman Russ has moved forward, killed like 2 guys from that squad. These guys got a 5 on their difficult terrain, so they made it to capture this objective. And over here, I split up all 3 of these guys, the 2 independent characters in that, and moved them and ran them all individually so that I could try to contest. These guys got a 6 on their run, so they're actually contesting that objective. So, end game, I've got objective here, an objective there, and I'm contesting that one. So, and these guys aren't troops, so it's 2-0 right now. So, That's the end result. Good game, Steve.
Thank you for the game, Adam.
Good game, Will.
Wonderful.
Yep.